this is I can do better. And I just want to prove a point. It's not in regards to anything Joe said. It's more in regards to his streams being 1080 and him saying he cannot get better quality 1080 on YouTube because if he bumps up the bit rate, then Twitch will tell him, well, you can't do that. We won't allow it. This is too much. And if he bumps it down, it will look worse on YouTube, which is obvious. But even 1080 on YouTube is super horrible. Like, don't stream 1080. Streaming 1080 is close to equal streaming 720 on YouTube because the YouTube encoder for video cannot. It can, but it is not optimized for 1080. So if we take a look, you don't need the sound. If you take a look here, like all the pixelations that happens when he's just running and such, moving the camera, you can see his camera here is more blurry than usual. It's more blurry all over. Like this is what the bitrate does. You can see all the pixelations happening in here. Like even the sky have squares right here. This is the pixelation I attempted to help Joe avoid, and you can see up here with the FPS and such, he got 168 FPS, sometimes bumping all the way up to 220, sometimes all the way down to 125. If you do it on Twitch, it looks slightly better. There are less pixelations, but it still happens. But that's because Twitch is optimized for that bitrate. YouTube is not optimized for that bitrate. So you can see like his camera is still blurry. There are still some squares in the sky, even at this point of the video. Like it still happens for him. And to prove my point, let's see. Did I do them incorrectly? We have. I think that actually should have been there. Yes. So to prove my point, we have the high bitrate for YouTube to do 1440. We have Twitch not accepting that bitrate, but you can see that it is still live. The video is running. The mouse is going over. I have here, I think it was. Okay, no, I don't remember. Here it is. I attempt to show the possibility of things for Twitch, and it shows that I'm offline. That's why it doesn't show an image quality, unlike up here where it shows 1440. If they go to you, and you can see here, it says 1440, but going through, it said I was offline because the bitrate was too high. You can see 1440 also says on this video here, it's the exact same video. You can see it's not showing quality for Twitch down here. Same with this one over here. Let me get it back over here, approximately. Let's see here. 1440 still for YouTube. And here it is for Twitch. 1440 down here. Here I bumped down the bitrate to 8,000 instead of 12,000 as recommended for YouTube. 8,000 is the maximum for Twitch, regardless who you are, unless you are an ambassador. But that is a high way for anyone. Like to reach that, you need to be insanely popular on Twitch. That's like only the few majority of people on Twitch that can do that, as far as I know. But you can see 1440 still. And this here is what it looks like on, I need to get here, the death screen. So you can see like it looks crisp. There is basically nothing to it. You can still do 1440. Here you can see that it becomes blurry, but it corrects itself really fast. That was sticky keys messing up with me. There are still some hicks and such up and running for different sections, showing the same span on YouTube. You can see still some hicks and glitches. You can see it's still 1440, but that's a lower bit rate that is not recommended for YouTube. Again, the sticky key. So this here is not optimized for YouTube. However, it still looks good compared to what Joe is doing. Again, the death screen, refreshing really fast, really over to it. However, if you then go 1080 on Twitch, it shows 1080 on YouTube also. And all this is using restream. So you can be in a position with restream where you like do something similar. I'm just goofing around right here. But I would not recommend, and I did also not recommend Joe to be doing restream. This here is just to like get glitches, get the FPS to show something, like all this here, just to show what is possible. Again, showing 1080 on the video. The video here, the same part showing 1080 on YouTube. And you have the same here. But you can see on Twitch it was less blurry, less pixelated. Here on YouTube, it's way more pixelated, even if I enlarge it. Like, it's more difficult to see what happens here compared to, because, and you can see, like, it basically doesn't do shit here, I think, right there. If I can match it. Come on, there we go. We have, like, these two different parts here on YouTube. One is not optimized, and one is you have had enough time to send in the same data on, and they refresh the stream. However, if you then move away from Restream IO, which is what Joe uses, and I recommend him not to be using, because you don't have the same freedom. If you go over to a different method, and just because I have already attempted to help Joe with it, I will not say it this time. But there's a different method where you can stream both 1080 to Twitch and 1440 to YouTube. And it will look way more smooth on both ends. So if we go forth and we take it from here, just that's fine. You can see there are the same pixelations for all the other time I made the test for 1080 on Twitch. It looks fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It looks what majority of people. I thought I could burn the grenade by doing that. It looks what majority of other streamers are doing when they're doing 1080. You can see it looks fine, nothing blurry in these sections here. Even reviving, you can see all this. The FPS is not dropping down. This is not like super blurry as it becomes on Joe's stream. This is like just me goofing around, showing that nothing will really mess up the stream. If I pause it and I show here, still 1080, no other qualities, but that's because this account is not affiliate. If we then go to YouTube, you can see here the exact same period, 1440, streamed at the exact same time, because you can see the two qualities here, just like before, and you can see the exact same type of movement. It is so impossibly difficult to duplicate down to this. Here was a hiccup I had with the YouTube stream, though. It is so impossibly difficult to duplicate all these small actions, throw things, time here, clicking the respawn at the precise moment, spawning the exact same place, all that. So you cannot even claim those are two different recordings, two different streams happening. Because I would need to do that an endless amount of time to spawn exactly at that, be able to exactly at those moments, look back and forth, throw that the exact same place, all that, like, and you can see it looks so much more crisp than 1080 on YouTube. So, as I said to begin with, this here was just to prove a point. Same with the title, just to prove my point. Like, I'm giving you what truth is, what reality dictates. I'm giving you everything as they are. And Joe says a lot of fucking crap. He even said I didn't try and help him make his stream better. Like, there is a reason why he did block me over here. And that is literally because I attempted to fix his stream for him so it would look better, so the recordings would be better, so there would be no pixelations. And yet, he continues down the same path. No one's helping me. If you go through his entire YouTube channel, you will find people try to help him. Even someone like, where is it? Not on that one. Was it 33 actually? No, here. Even like Miss Nobody. I don't know this person. Nice video, Joe. But I don't like Joe's videos either. So like, it makes no sense they're doing this to me because I know who he is as a person. And some of the things they're saying I disagree with. Some of the things they're saying I agree with. But there are a lot of people trying to help Joe until they get fed up with Joe just simply being obnoxious. And again, just to prove my point, it is possible to stream 1080 to YouTube, to Twitch, 1080 to Twitch, and 1440 to YouTube, giving the exact same result for both stream endings for people to watch you. Yeah, but what about my bitrate? Exactly. This bitrate on this ending of the stream, the YouTube ending, is 12,000. This one here is set to 8,000, giving the most optimal streaming conditions. Now, I could like go even more in depth with the settings and test them and make it even more smooth, even more clear. I know I have some pixelations out here. Like, I could probably smooth that up. There is a little bit pixelation here, a little more out here, for example. Like, I could even smooth that out. But this here was just a quick test, mainly to show this. The quality being 1080 on Twitch, 1440 on YouTube. And I told Joe how to do it, and he implemented one part of what I said, and then removed that, implemented the next part, removed that, implemented the third part, removed that, and said it doesn't work. Of course, it does not work when you're doing it the implementation on one rather than all of it, which is exactly what I told him to do. You need to change all these settings here, all of them. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And he changed one. He changed the bit rate up to match what YouTube recommends. He changed the resolution up, changed the bit rate down to what matches Twitch, changed the resolution up to what YouTube can handle. But then the Twitch one cannot handle it properly. So he changed that down. He changed the speed of what the quality is being handled, and then changed that down. He changed every single thing individually and back before changing the next. And he still says he cannot do anything without actually messing up the entire stream. So, how can you trust someone that says it cannot get better, and yet it's possible even through the explanations I already gave him? How can you trust any of that?